Boom. What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today, we're going to be looking at a pretty cool one that me and Wintucky kind of coordinated that we were going to drink this on the same day. So, I know he's been wanting to drink this one for a while now, and I've been kind of holding him to kind of hang on to it so we can drink it at the same time. But, yeah, we got another one from 903 Brewers over in Sherman, Texas. I'm usually drinking a lot of their fruited sours, their fruited Berliner Weisses. They come out with a lot of crazy concoctions over there, and this one is another one to add to the list, but different kind of beer, because today we got that Java the Hutt coffee stout we got going on. It's Imperial Rye Stout aged on coffee beans, so I'm curious how that's going to do anything, especially when it comes to being like a rye kind of stout. There's definitely going to be more of those, like, I think a little bit more of those bitter notes coming through, maybe notes of like a dark chocolate. But I'm expecting really heavy coffee notes in this one. So, yeah, I'm excited. Comes out at a 12.6% ABV. So, yeah, this is a little bit up there. This is definitely a sipper. Not really thinking this is sessionable at all. Anything above maybe like a 7.5, I wouldn't consider sessionable in my opinion. But yeah, I'm excited about this one. From what I saw, I think you might be able to find this one still at some like Total Wines down over in like Texas. I know there's verified locations to where 903 has a lot of their beers over in Total Wines all the way in Texas and all that stuff. Or you can be like Kentucky and find it near him. But without further ado, let's crack this guy open and let's see what this guy's all about. What am I gonna get? What are we getting on the nose on this one? Oh yeah, very, very strong, like, coffee notes. Definitely getting some kind of like a dark fruit. I don't know, maybe like a plum kind of thing on the nose as well. But yeah, definitely getting that kind of like, to me, the chocolate notes I'm expecting this, there's going to be more of like that dark chocolate, more of like a bitter, semi-sweet chocolate, I think. I'm not expecting this to be too overly sweet, but yeah, it smells delicious, so I'm excited to drink this one. So, gonna be drinking out of my untapped little tulip glass this afternoon. I think this is like an 8 or a 10 ounce, something like that. I don't remember, but I think it's a 10 ounce. But let's pour this guy and see what we're looking at. Oh yeah, nice little bit of a head to it. Not really. I don't know. It might be a syrupy kind of stout. Not really sure. Not much of a head going forward on it. Just a little bit after you pour it. But with lacing on the side of the glass, yeah, you're getting a little bit of it coming down. Still getting a lot of those. Oh yeah, very, very strong coffee on the nose. Holy crap. If you're a coffee stout, if you're a coffee stout fan, I can already tell this might be one for you, to be honest. Oh yeah, those coffee notes are insanely like predominant. Without further ado, let's give this guy a try. So, cheers everybody. Happy Saturday. Oh, yeah. Right off the bat, getting very, very strong, like, roasted coffee flavors. Definitely getting a little bit of that booziness coming through, which is actually really nice mixing with the kind of, like, the dark roasty, kind of maybe a little bit like maybe a plum, kind of dark fruit notes you would get from the coffee. Because I know this one is actually brewed with, if I remember correctly, Sumatra coffee. So, what they describe that kind of coffee is kind of being, like, giving a lot of more like earthy, kind of dark fruity flavors along with it. But I'm definitely getting that. Definitely a really nice kind of roasty, malty, dark chocolate flavors you're getting right away. It's actually not too overly coffee for me, which is actually really nice, because sometimes if it's like too much coffee, you get like too much of that bitterness from the coffee. But this one's actually really well balanced. Yeah, the rye is giving like a little bit of a bitterness, very smooth, really nice sweet malt flavors coming through. Yeah, absolutely delicious. Really, really big fan. I'm surprised, like, for getting that upfront booziness at first, it actually balances out really well with the coffee flavors in there. So, very, very impressed with this one so far. So let's look at actually read this description on this one, because I'm curious. And I know you guys probably are too. So, like I said before, 12.6% ABV. And what they say for description is, from a brewery far, far away comes the Java the Hutt Imperial Coffee Stout with massive body and bounty of flavors. This mighty Java Stout boasts an abundant dosing of Sumatra coffee beans atop a chocolate rye malt base, giving the brew forward notes of earthy fruit coffee roast layered with rich chocolate dimensions. If you enjoy brews on the dark side, Java the Hutt will not disappoint. Yeah, right up front, this is... If you're a big coffee fan, if you like coffee and you like coffee stouts, this is definitely going to be one right in your wheelhouse for sure. There's a nice booziness to it, which kind of balances out really well with those kind of really strong coffee flavors. There's a nice, like black coffee, dark chocolate mix really well. I love how it's not too bitter. The rye kind of gives it like a different element in there as well. But overall, yeah. There's definitely an earthiness to this as well. Like kind of like, I don't want to say dirt, but kind of a forest floor kind of situation as well with like the earthiness. It's not like piney or any kind of that kind of situation, but overall, yeah, they absolutely nailed it with this one. I love that kind of syrupy, creamy mouthfeel on it, definitely. Right on when you drink it, the main predominant flavors that stick to your palate is just hard upfront, like dark black coffee. And so yeah, like a dirt kind of thing. Yeah, I know it's weird to describe dirt in a beer, but it's the only way I can describe like an earthiness in a beer without it being like a really like gross kind of earthiness, you know what I mean? But overall, they did a really fabulous job on this one for sure. So let's look at Untapped and see what's going on here. Like I said, 12.6% ABV, really high for a nice Imperial double coffee stout. And with over 948 ratings on Untapped, this one has an average rating of 4.01 out of 5, which is pretty good, if I say so myself. So let's see what people are saying. This guy gave it a 4.25, saying coffee, dark fruit, chocolate, very drinkable. Yes, it is. Somebody gave this a full 5 out of 5, so they must have loved it. Another 4.5 out of 5. Let's see. 3.75 out of 5. 4.25. 3.5. 4. 4.75 saying 903 with the kind of a flexing kind of emoji. 3.75. 3.5. Another 3.5. Purchased at the Bottle Shop 48, which is... Okay, so it's in... Somebody purchased this in Arizona, so that's interesting. Let's see. Another 4.5 saying great flavor. 3.75. Another 3.75 purchased at the HEB, which is a little grocery store in Texas. So yeah, a lot of good reactions out of this one for sure. But so, well, not really a compost kind of. Yeah, I guess you can kind of think of like when you think of earthiness when it comes to a coffee stout, you kind of get like the coffee grind kind of situation. Maybe it's not really giving the grind kind of dirt earthiness for a mouthfeel, but it's definitely adding there for flavor. Kind of changes it to where it adds a bitterness, but it's not an overpowering bitterness when I think of earthiness to it. But let me see, Duchess. Hold on. Let's look. Where would I see this? Where did I see him get it in Arizona? Where was this? That's Bottle Shop 48. I think that's... Yeah, in Tempe, Texas? No, I mean Tempe, Arizona. Tempe. I don't know if you... It's called Bottle Shop 48, Duchess. So... Yeah, overall, this one is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So looking back on Untapped here, pretty good ratings so far. Definitely has, I like that booziness. It kind of balances out the bitterness of the coffee a little bit. Adds a little bit of a sweetness from the malts and the kind of a little bit of like a dark chocolate sweetness along with like keeping that natural like semi-sweet bitterness that a dark chocolate kind of has. So very, very well balanced for sure. So let's start looking at our ratings here and figure out what we're going to do about this one when it comes to different ratings. Can art. Before we do that, let's pour a little bit more into the glass. Yeah, I absolutely love the can art. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're automatically gonna love this can art for sure, just because you got Jabba the Hutt on the front, then you kind of little Easter eggs on there. You got the Death Star. Let's see, down here you got some of the pod racer kind of guys. Then the one on the other side. So kind of given that reminiscence of this is like a Tatooine kind of can art. Obviously it looks like a desert in the background. Of course, Jabba the Hutt just sitting there. Has the kind of font that they used for Star Wars, which I really enjoy. Yeah, if you're a Star Wars fan, this is automatically going to be at least a 4.5 out of 5 for can art for sure. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it. A nice 4.5 out of 5 for can art. Really solid. Would have liked to see a little bit more stuff relating to Star Wars, even though they already added a few things already. Maybe a couple Easter eggs, maybe a little lightsaber in the background, or maybe a bounty hunter, maybe like Boba or Jango Fett in there. I think it would have been really cool. But overall, yeah, very, very solid for sure. But let's see. If I got this beer in a flight at 9:03, would I get another one? To be honest, coffee stouts aren't like... Okay, so it's called Tempe. Okay, so not a Star Wars fan, so you give it a 3.5. Okay. So, when it comes to coffee stouts, it's not usually my wheelhouse for a coffee stout to be like a go-to version of a stout for me. So, when it comes to me wanting to drink a coffee stout, I can easily say this is probably one of the best coffee stouts I've ever had. Just because of how well balanced it is. It's not too bitter from the coffee. You get different like dark fruit notes that you should be getting from the natural flavors of the coffee bean. Has a nice sweetness to it from the dark chocolate kind of notes and the malts in there. Yeah. Definitely probably one of the best coffee stouts I've ever had. The one that if I got a coffee stout, this would probably be the first one that I would kind of search for if I was craving a coffee stout. So overall, yeah, really fantastic. So would definitely get another one of these in a flight for sure if I was craving a coffee stout. This is kind of like set the bar for what I would expect for a nice coffee stout. So let's be... Oh yeah, I definitely agree. And we're everybody, no matter where we are, blessed with a bunch of great breweries being in the area. And even though sometimes you may not be able to try them, who knows, Ian, where you are, I've seen a bunch of U.S. kind of stuff show up in different countries as well. So you just got to keep an eye out. Who knows, you might find some 903 coming up in your neck of the woods eventually. There's a lot of distribution changes happening, so I think that would be really cool to see something that we can normally get over here and have it see your neck of the woods, so you can kind of experience what we get to experience over here. So yeah, easily probably up there for the best coffee stout I've ever had. But what's my final rating on this one going to be? So Kentucky, you're giving it a 4.25 out of 5 for your Untapped check-in, which I think with mine, it's probably going to go around that same realm, I think. So with my final rating out of 10, I'm going to give this a very, very solid 8.25 out of 10. Really good. If you're a fan of coffee, you're going to love this one. If you're a fan of like a nice mix of boozy and bitterness when it comes to a stout, this is going to be the perfect one for you as well. If you're a fan of dark chocolate and coffee, this will be another reason for you to pick this one up. So, overall, absolutely fantastic. 903 knocked it out of the park with this one. So, I would definitely see this one popping up again soon when it comes to them doing another batch of it, just because I can assume that they are going to do another release of it, because obviously they're getting a lot of good response off of Untapped. So, yeah. Other than that, am I missing anything? Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So thank you, everybody in chat, for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Kentucky, I hope you enjoyed this one as much as I did. It's definitely a very, very solid one. I know we're kind of on the same when it comes to what we think of brews. So, yeah. I think we both heavily enjoyed this one for sure. Let's see. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you, everybody, again, for hanging out. You guys are amazing. Keep an eye out for another review coming up tomorrow. I got another one from Drecker I'm gonna be doing tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that one. Another brains that we have on the list. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So guys, if you're in chat hanging out, thank you for joining. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. It would help me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel, like what you see, Make sure to hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell. Will let you know whenever I go live doing another review. Or you can also find me on Untappd. You can find people like me, Wintucky, Duchess, Ian. We're all on Untappd checking in beers. We need to eventually get Lee over there so he can start checking in some stuff, because I think Lee would enjoy Untappd as well. So, and if you're looking for a nice beer delivery / beer subscription service where you could find a shit ton of brews from 903 on there, they drop all the time, make sure to give Tavor a try. I know they may not be available in every area just because shipping methods are kind of a pain in the ass when it comes to different states having availability to ship alcohol. Some can and some can't. So you just got to download the app, put in your zip code, and they'll tell you right away if that you can get beer delivered to you. But 903 pops up on there all the time, so you'll never be disappointed when it comes to a lot of the stuff from 903 puts out. They are a fantastic brewery making some fantastic brews. So definitely, if you can get your hands on anything from 903, yeah, just do it. You will not be disappointed at all. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. So again, thank you, buddy, again for hanging out. You guys are amazing. And I'm going to say it like I always say it, with a little bit of a twist before we get out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And cheers, everybody. May the force be with you.